On Friday, July the 13th, FIFA President Gianni Infantino held his pre-match press conference ahead of the third place in World Cup final in Russia. And he spoke about several things that might be of interest to European fans. First off, he said that the World Cup hasn't made a decision yet, the committee, whether or not the World Cup in 2022 in Qatar will be either 32 teams or will it be increased to 48 teams. But the next thing he did say did bring a lot of interest, and that is that the World Cup in 2022 in Qatar will be played during the months of November to December, specifically November the 21st to December the 18th. That's right, the World Cup, the very next World Cup that we all love, will be played during the middle of the season. Now this of course poses a lot of challenges to the league because people are used to the World Cup taking place in June and the early part of July. So what does this mean for Europe and ligas like Liga NOS in Portugal? Does it mean that the leagues need to start early, perhaps maybe starting their league in late July? Which, by the way, for us Portuguese fans means that us immigrants, when we go on vacation, it means we get to watch more of soccer in Portugal. Or do they just basically keep the schedule the way it is and take a 6-week break, and therefore you have a bunch of matches maybe during the week? Or perhaps maybe they just take 3 weeks off and then the other 3 weeks they play. But see, that's a bit of an issue because teams like Benfica, Porto, and Sporting generally have around 6 to 10 international players that play at the World Cup. So you really can't have those teams playing important matches while so many players are away on duty. And if they do decide to make the World Cup a 48-team tournament, well, that means that teams like Benfica, Porto, and Sporting will lose possibly even more players. Not to mention some of these smaller clubs in Portugal will probably have a few players on their roster as well. So what are the options? Well, number one, like I said, they could just start very early in the summer. Option number two is perhaps maybe they just do a 3-week break and then continue playing. Option number three is, well, maybe in Portugal they just do the Taça da Liga during that time and maybe a few rounds of the Portuguese Cup, the Taça de Portugal. After all, let's not forget, it's not like most of the best players play in the early rounds of those tournaments anyway. So there's a lot of questions right now that we have, and we don't have a lot of answers. But needless to say, those answers should be forthcoming later this year. This has been a report from PortugueseSoccer.com. Please give us a visit and subscribe. Thanks a lot, everybody. Ciao.